Hey John,
Hey Eric, how you doing tonight?
um, I'm doing fantastic. It's a good evening. It was a good day.
Was a
A
good
little
day.
chilly, a little chilly. Not too bad. Not like yesterday. Yesterday was a little extra cold, but I'm
Trying to remember if I was outside at all yesterday. I think.
I'm now down in my basement, which gets cold in the winter for poor house design choices that were made prior to my owning the home. So it's hard to heat the upstairs and the basement without turning upstairs into an oven.
Only turn on the
Yeah,
downstairs zone and let the heat rise.
yeah.
But no.
I wish that that's what I wanted to happen. Anyways, so I'm in coats and stuff, and it's nice. I I do enjoy. My daughter calls, so I have a she calls them shackets. I don't know if that's a
Shackets.
so it's like a jacket that's a sweater. I don't know where the sh comes from.
Shirt
Sweater,
jacket.
a a shacket. Anyways, she was excited when I told her I got a I'm it's now shacket season for me in the basin. So
I like wearing sweatshirts. I'll be honest.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
favorite
is
sweatshirt on.
this is the same daughter who was here who was in town this past weekend with her boyfriend,
Okay.
and he took her out to the coast and colluded with her a couple of her friends, who I discovered one of them got a speeding ticket on the way out to try to beat them out there to
Oh,
set up for his proposal. So
aw.
I now have one step closer to a son-in-law.
Hmm.
So, anyways, she was very excited. She has her engagement ring, and now she's started the wedding planning in earnest. So, it
All
looks
right.
like we'll have a May wedding in
That's
the Wheeler
exciting.
household. Yeah,
That's exciting.
yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. But more importantly than
Uh,
that, more importantly than that, I went
okay.
and saw Tron Ares over the weekend too.
Oh, did you? Okay. I did not.
It was
And
good. I I thought it was good. Um, I They had a nice tie to the 1982, the original Tron,
okay.
and showed the contrast between the CGI that existed in that day that was
Oh my gosh.
state of the art in
Sure, state of the art,
1982.
but I have watched that since 1982. It is
You can run probably all that
aged.
stuff on a Casio calculator anymore. What they were doing. Anyways, it was
Anything
good.
that runs Doom,
Yeah,
which is, by the way, everything.
everything. my my complaint about the movie is they had this will be a little bit of a spoiler for the second movie if you haven't seen it. You remember at the end of the second movie, he brings a digital persona out of the computer into the real world, and that's the end of the movie. And this next movie, I don't think this is a spoiler because this is the point. You've seen it all the trailers. The computer world invades the real world. Well, invades is the wrong word, but comes into the real world. I didn't even think they touched hardly at all on the second. I got to go rewatch the second movie to see, oh, I forgot about that part. That's how they tied them. So I was a little grumpy. It's like you could have totally tied those two together a lot better,
Mm.
and they didn't. But it was good. It was I thought it was a lot of fun.
All
So,
right. Enjoyable movie. I still
uh,
don't even remember the last time I was in a movie theater. I am
uh
the reason why AMC is in trouble.
I, I am the reason why they're still holding on by the skin of their teeth. Uh,
Yeah.
so it was fun.
Okay.
I
That's
enjoyed
awesome.
it. I enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
How was your
That's
weekend?
cool. My weekend was pretty good. Saturday we had kind of a harvest fair at for the school where my wife works, and one of the things that they do every year, and I mean I did this for years as well, but because we've been going to this for a long time, is press apples. So um,
Okay.
so having the fresh pressed apple cider is always kind of one of the highlights. And you know, it's not exactly a fundraiser. I think they only do it to kind of break even because they get, you know, they have to buy a I don't know what you call a crate of apples, like the 4 by 4 by 4. I guess that would be 16 square feet. 4 times 4 times 4. No, sorry, 64 square feet of apples. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like a tote, like a
Right.
forklift thing
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
apples.
Yeah.
And they have, like, you know, a couple apple presses going, and you know, like a whole assembly line of people, you know, dunking the apples in water to rinse them off. Or like some years, the years that sucked was when they had stickers on the apples. And so, like, you had to take the stickers off of every
Oh.
single apple.
Mm,
That was no bueno. But anyway,
yeah.
net.
Uh-huh.
It was fun. A pleasant day was had by all. But we were like, one of my son's favorite things and one of his girlfriend's favorite things is the apple cider from the harvest fair.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a couple other things to give to him. And it sort of started as my wife was going to meet a friend in Salem, which is like halfway to Corvallis, for lunch on Sunday. And so we were like, well, let's just get an extra couple quarts of cider and we'll take it down to Corvallis. And, you know, I figured I'd drop her off for lunch and then I'd continue on, or she would just go afterwards and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, net. We kind of were like, you know what?
Mm.
You go to Salem and I'll go to Corvallis. And so I drove to Corvallis on Sunday. I don't know. I kind of felt like I wanted a relaxing day, and going for a drive was great. So I drove to Corvallis on Sunday, had a late lunch with my son, and took him out to a pizza place and brought home a pizza that's my wife's favorite pizza from, you know, our Corvallis days, and
Okay.
had a great day. And I
Nice.
don't know, like I was like, hey, thinking of popping down there. He's like, yeah, bring honey, because he had meant to bring honey. Evidently, he's having
Yeah.
tea a lot with his friends, and he's like,
Okay.
I had taken he was up like a weekend ago or two ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, I took a jar of honey into my bedroom and I forgot about it. Um, so bring honey and pepperoni sticks and
Right.
I don't know, a couple other things, and
Okay.
I was like, done.
Mm-hmm.
And my car will make it to Corvallis and back with like 50 miles to spare on the battery. So,
Okay.
which was awesome. It
That's
was
almost as
so,
far as
yeah,
my car goes on a full charge.
50 miles.
It only goes like 93.
Like, yeah,
Uh,
that's a
it's
little
fine.
roundabouter.
Yeah.
But
It's a commuter.
yeah. Anyway, so that was my weekend. I had a great weekend. It was fun.
And sorry, so real time follow up. So my daughter is not extremely embarrassed in me, although she doesn't listen, so she won't care. Uh, a shacket is a shirt jacket. You are correct. It's not a sweater jacket, which is what
Okay.
I thought it was, because I'm just
Well,
thinking like a hoodie,
that would
button
be
up
a
hoodie.
swacket.
It's not a swacket. It's a
It's a
shacket, which is a shirt
shirt
jacket.
jacket.
And
Yeah,
apparently it's popular among women's clothing. So, hey, I'm all in.
I've
I
never heard
like
of
my
that.
shackets.
But
Yeah, there
but
you go.
I other people aren't looking at your video. I'm looking at your video. That looks like a shirt a
It,
shirt jacket. Yeah.
it is a very nice shirt jacket.
Anyway,
Shacket.
okay.
All right.
Anyway, how about something security related?
So mine is a research paper, and the report was from Malwarebytes. So a
Okay.
cybersecurity company did a blog on a research paper. So this is not an attack in the wild, but it's just
Okay.
a theoretical with they actually built it. So it's not theoretical. But it is a research
Proof of
paper. It's not
concept.
something. It's proof of concept. Thank you. That's the words I was looking for.
Okay.
Called Pixnapping. PIX snapping. Pixnapping.
Okay.
And the idea behind this is a way that you can get an app on your phone. They did it on Android to trick the device into leaking pixel data. And
Okay.
so if
So
you
like
can get the
capturing the
device
screen capturing. Kinda.
pixels, yeah. So if you can just get bits of the screen, so not a full screenshot, but just get bits of the screen, and you can target where those bits show up, that you want to kind of extract, you can steal two-factor authentication codes, uh, Venmo. You know, think of the things that, yeah, you don't need a screenshot, but you just need bits and pieces of them. And it is a side channel attack. So it's stealing secrets,
Interesting.
not by breaking into the software, but by observing those clues that the device gives off during normal use. So how it works, uh, it's not script kiddie territory. That's what they called out, air quote.
Yeah.
It's not script kiddie territory. You have to have deep knowledge of the Android internals and the graphics hardware, but once developed, a Pixnapping app could be disguised as something harmless and distributed. So if you get this content, and in the PDF that's attached, there is an image that kind of shows how you could pull this together. And I thought I had pulled out where it pulls it from. Let's see. Oh, it abuses how apps communicate and interact with each other. So as it's moving from one window to another, it will stack a nearly transparent window over the app it wants to spy on and watch for the subtle timing signals that depend on pixel color. So, anyways, the research paper, which is linked to from the article, has a much deeper details. It's a very big university research paper, but it was an interesting concept, kind of like the now it's Spectre meltdown. Kind of the very famous side channel attacks for CPU architectures. Now you're doing one for basically graphic processors.
Wow. I'm kind of just at least skimming
through the paper.
Just like looking at the images in the paper, but they literally are, because you don't have access to the frame buffers or anything like that.
No.
But you do have access to your own windows, and evidently there's some blur that happens when
the nice transition, right?
Yeah.
Between one to the other.
You're saying that they
or
can
a pop-up that pops up overlays on top of your app.
Their own window info. And interesting.
Anyways, it was a fun. I didn't read the full paper, but looked like a fun project.
That's tricky.
So there you go.
Tricky. Okay, very cool. That's requires deep knowledge of hardware internals.
Yep.
Okay, so I brought two-ish things tonight. The first is a McAfee blog that got published this week from a piece of a banking Trojan, mostly active in South America, Brazil. But I thought this is clever because it used steganography. Like at the end of the day, that was one of the things that I was like, hey, there's a real in the wild use. It wasn't fancy steganography. What's that?
I have a soft spot for steganography.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't super fancy because basically the malware stored command and control configuration in images that were hosted on GitHub. And so every couple hours it would clone or download a image off of, stored in a GitHub repo, and then get new configuration. So, the McAfee team worked with GitHub to have the repositories taken down and everything like that. So the blog actually wasn't published until everything had been taken down. But
nice.
I don't know. It's abuse of open hosting infrastructure. It's kind of it's a similar to live off the land or something like that for endpoint devices, right? Whether you're hosting someplace else or in this case GitHub. Like there's a bunch of stuff that's happened for things that have been hosted on GitHub user content that GitHub or Microsoft, I guess, now owns GitHub, but Microsoft stays has to stay on top of. But anyway, so for this, it's called Asteroth. The banking Trojan, it downloads normally comes from phishing, fake receipt, an email or something like that includes a link. Click on the link, you get a zip file. The zip file includes a LNK file or a shortcut that will install the software, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I mean the whole attack chain, the blog that we'll link to here, details a whole bunch of stuff, and there's a ton of indicators of compromise that are at the bottom of the article. Bunches of domains, many GitHub repos that were actually involved in this. But the clever thing about this, and the reason why I really wanted to kind of bring this out today, is the steganography bit. They're not embedding the data in the actual pixels of the image. It was in the metadata of the image, but still innocuous seeming file type. So that's the first one.
Nice.
The second I thought was interesting. Apple had an announcement, I think it might have been just today, that they are doubling, in many cases, sometimes even a little bit more than that. I'm sorry, no, the announcement was a couple days ago. But they are doubling the bounties for vulnerabilities that you find in Apple software. So here's the thing. It says, since we launched the public Apple Security Bounty Program in 2020, we're proud to have awarded over $35 million to more than 800 security researchers, with multiple individual reports earning $500,000 rewards. We're grateful to everyone who submitted the research and worked closely with us to help protect our users. But, so they're doubling the top award to $2 million for an exploit chain that can achieve similar goals as sophisticated mercenary spyware attacks. Basically, what was previously, if you found and disclosed to them a 0-click attack, the top bounty was $1 million. Now it's $2 million.
Okay.
If you have a 1-click attack chain, it's quadrupling from $250K to $1 million.
Okay.
So a 1-click example would be a 0-click is somebody can send you a text message
and you
without even clicking on the message, just the receipt of the text causes the attacker to get control of the device.
Right.
There have been examples of that in the past. 1-click is generally you have to, they text you an attachment or something like that. If you click on the attachment, so think of this as like a PDF rendering or a font rendering issue or something like that. There have been a number of font or TIFF, legacy. A lot of these things have dealt historically with, legacy graphic formats that, the code's very old to support and have vulnerabilities in it. Anyway, 1-click attack, the user has to actually click on something. The other 3 that they kind of called out on the table here is for a wireless proximity attack. So if you have an attack requiring fixed physical proximity to the device, but over wireless, it's going from $250K to $1 million. And then a physical device access, if you have an attack requiring physical access to a locked device. So if you have a physical unlock, current maximum is $250K, new maximum $500K. And then an app sandbox escape. So if you can attack from app sandbox to a SPTM bypass, that's going from $150K to $500K.
Got it.
Kind of cool. So 2 other kind of points about this. The first of which is, let's see, I kind of already said this, but the bullet point was that the bounty categories are expanding to cover more attack surfaces. Notably, we're rewarding 1-click WebKit sandbox escapes with up to $300,000. So that's different from the I assume the other in the table is iOS. Um, and then it says the third bullet point here, at least, is that they're introducing target flags, a new way for researchers to objectively demonstrate exploitability for some of our top bounty categories, including remote code execution and transparency, consent, and control bypasses, to help determine eligibility for a specific award. Researchers who submit reports with target flags will qualify for accelerated rewards, which are processed immediately after the research is received and verified even before a fix becomes available. So
So is
I
that,
didn't see the details on that, but
I was going to say, what does that mean that Apple is going to embed? Basically, I'm thinking of capture the flag, where you do an exploit and then you get the flag,
that's, I
and
mean,
then you can. I mean, that
yeah,
sounds like to me what it is. So somewhere embedded in Apple's ecosystem, they've put these flags, and if you can find the flag and submit the "Hey, I found the flag,"
I,
I don't know.
I'm
That
sure there's more
sounds,
detail elsewhere.
yeah,
In
yeah,
the article itself, it
huh.
says, in addition to increasing reward amounts and expanding bounty categories, we're making it easier for researchers to objectively demonstrate their findings. Target flags inspired by capture the flag competitions, there you go,
Oh,
are
good.
built into our operating systems and allow us to rapidly review the issue and process a resulting reward even before we release a fix. When researchers demonstrate security issues using target flags, the specific flag that's captured objectively demonstrates a given level of capability. For example,
Ah,
register control, arbitrary rewrite, or code execution, and directly correlates to the reward amount, making the award determination more transparent than ever. Because target flags
okay.
can be programmatically verified by Apple as part of submitted findings, researchers who submit eligible reports with target flags will receive notification of their bounty award immediately upon our validation of the captured flag. Confirmed rewards will be issued in an upcoming payment cycle rather than when a fix becomes available, underscoring the trust we've built with our core researcher community. So,
Okay.
yes, yes,
Cool.
um,
Interesting approach.
yeah, but um,
They have to be dynamic. They can't be a fixed
I'm sorry.
string. I
Clearly
know
the details are
you read the
not
whole
in the
thing.
summary article.
I know.
But yeah. Anyway, so I thought that was cool. I thought that was
Yeah.
good for Apple.
Very nice.
Bounty programs, and I mean I guess they're not the richest company in the world anymore. I think
Mm,
Nvidia currently is holding that
yeah.
spot,
They have the money.
they're enough. Like they
They
can like
they're it's couch cushion money
let's not
for
be
them.
penny wise and pound foolish.
Yeah. No, this is turned up in the corner of Tim Cook's office. They found 35 million. Like, oh, that's where it went.
Turn his couch upside down.
That's right.
Anyway,
All right. Something
okay,
fun?
there you go. Yep, hit me up. Something fun.
All right. So when I had my girls were much younger, I very much enjoyed watching a show with them called Kim Possible.
I
And there were
vaguely
these
remember that.
characters called Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable. It was kind of like she was a super spy, get things done, had, an arch nemesis or multiple nemesi
Hmm.
that she would battle. And her sidekick was a bumbling kind of doofus named Ron Stoppable. And he had, here I'm finally getting to the point, he had for a pet a naked mole rat. And when you have little kids and you say the word naked on TV, giggles ensue. So this was a
Yes.
naked mole rat. I found an article on 404 Media about naked mole rats could hold the key to living longer. So I learned some fun things about naked mole rats in this article that I was unaware of. So
Okay.
they are not normally a mammal. They are a eusocial, EU
Okay.
social society,
That's like
similar to
bees.
insects. Yeah, like bees.
Yep.
Uh, they have a queen, an entourage of breeder males, and supported by a caste system of non-breeding workers. And I'm kind of reading from the article here. It's super weird, but it seems to work out for them because they can live to nearly 40 years old, 10 times longer than most animals their size, and are highly resistant to cancer and a host of other death bringers. So scientists have been digging in and looking at
Interesting.
these.
40 years. I had
mole
no idea.
rats, yeah, in colonies in laboratory conditions and tracking their movements with microchips. And the results reveal that the queens are bossy bullies that get so tired from shoving their subjects around that they have to take frequent royal naps. In addition, uh, uh, the mole rat social behavior, in addition to the mole rat social behavior, genetic analysis has identified the critical role of an enzyme called CGAS, a common component in animal immune systems in extending the lives of these subterranean superagers, where
Okay.
CGAS, may hinder DNA repair in most animals, including humans and mice. The naked mole rat has evolved a version of the enzyme with 4 modified amino acids that enhance DNA repair.
Interesting.
So, researchers engineered some fruit flies with this naked mole rat enzyme. And I like this comment in the article. You got to mess with fruit flies or it's not science.
That's right.
Lo and
And you have to write it
behold,
down.
yes, yes. Thank you, Adam. Lo and behold, the juiced fruit flies lived 10 days longer than the control group. So
Interesting.
maybe we're getting to the ability to extend life through science.
I feel like I'm worried. I'm not worried, but I feel like we're probably on just the cusp. Like maybe our children are the
Yeah,
ones that will be
we
able to live past the singularity or whatever it is.
yeah.
But yeah, okay, that
The
is cool.
yeah. All right, so that
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 is
was
cool.
mine
I
today.
I
I
don't think I
anytime I can
realized
say
naked
the
more
words naked mole rat, it's a good day.
40 years old. That's
That's
crazy.
that's not bad. They're all kind of old and wrinkly, anyways. I mean, if you look at the pictures of them, they're
I,
40 years old for animal.
Even the newborns.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're Benjamin Button. They start
Okay.
wrinkly and stay wrinkly.
All right. So my something fun. Physical, reasonable, big air
You're
quotes,
air quoting here
big air
in voice
quotes,
and on video,
um, a physical model of a warp drive.
like
So,
Star Trek. Okay,
yes, across the universe.
okay. The math supports it.
So there was in the article that I linked in here, there's like a 10-minute video by a
Okay.
physics professor. I did watch it. It didn't help that much. Um,
Okay.
but like a little bit, but it didn't help 10 minutes enough. Anyway, the evidently, I didn't know this. There was a physics theory postulated by a theoretical physicist named Miguel Alcubierre in 1994
Mm.
that had a mathematically solved logical um, equations for warp drive in 94. And it is now called, in fact, the Alcubierre drive. The
Okay.
problem, as with, I guess, many theoretical physicists, is that although the mathed, did all the mathy things that
Mm-hmm.
you want with from your maths,
Mm-hmm.
it required, in order to balance the equations, negative energy,
Which
which
didn't
did not and does not exist.
exist.
And it needed enough negative energy, I think it said, that more matter than in the entire universe. So I don't know.
Okay.
It basically, the impracticality was off the chart.
An improbable drive.
An improbable drive. There you
Hmm.
go. Well played. Well played. Well played. Well played. So, um, the basically he balanced the math equation and said that um, you can have. Here's the quote from. It says the Alcubierre drive conforms to Einstein's theory of general relativity to achieve superluminal travel. by a purely local expansion of space-time behind the spaceship and an opposite contraction in front of it, Alcubierre wrote in his paper's abstract, motion faster than the speed of light as seen by observers outside this disturbed region is possible. So the new study tries to essentially solve this. So here's the quote here is, here's the gist, it says. Although, sorry, the physics professor said that, just because you can, one of the things that you need to do as a physics physicist, I guess, is when you balance an equation, is you have to actually analyze the solution. Or the Einstein general relativity equation, she's like, you can put any situation you want on the left-hand side of the equation and then solve for the right-hand side of the equation. But the thing is that you have to look at the solution and say, is that solution something that can actually exist or is possible? And because there are many solutions to an equation, if you put arbitrary inputs on the left-hand side of the equation, you can solve for it, but does that solution mean anything? Anyway, no. It says, for the gist of the new model, where the existing paradigm uses negative energy, that's the Alcubierre thing, exotic matter that doesn't exist and can't be generated within our current understanding of the universe, this new concept uses floating bubbles of space-time rather than floating ships in space-time. Okay. This doesn't help me, but it did say that Alcubierre supported the new theory. And watching the video of the professor, she's like, she said, hey, the math balanced, and it's at least semi-practical. It at least doesn't require negative energy, which doesn't exist. It just requires more mass than we know how to build at the moment.
Right.
And in fact, so the quote here is, while the mass requirements needed for such modifications are still enormous at present, our work suggests a method of constructing such objects based on fully understood laws of physics. So we won't be having a warp drive anytime soon, but here's a paper that says that it at least is mathematically, brings it out of the completely improbable into the probably improbable. I don't
Likely
know.
improbable.
I don't know. But
Gotcha.
One of these things, I had a notification from, I don't know, news on my phone that was like, scientists discover or
warp drive,
author paper that says warp drives could be real. And I was like,
yeah,
but did they really? But I mean, heck, why not? Why not? Like, first it starts with math, and, science fiction is only fiction until it's not. And, the communicators in our pockets are way more feature rich than the Star Trek. Beep, beep.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Awesome.
Anyway, there you go. Possible real warp drive.
I like it. We can crew it with naked mole rats.
Yeah.
I tried. All right. It's getting late.
All right, my friend.
Yep. Have a good night, John.
All right. I'll talk to you later, Eric.
We'll see you. Bye.